En este su programa Café con Leche, la voz de los latinos y latinas en América. Estamos transmitiendo desde Hermosa 1470 y tengo al doctor Jordan Goines y él es el director de Compliance in what is all your thing?
Continuous improvement, compliance, accountability.
Mejoramiento continuo.
Yeah, and
contabilidad, no, ¿cómo se dice? Responsabilidad.
Yeah. Making sure, basically, I'm the guy who makes sure people get their stuff done.
Ok, básicamente él es la persona que se asegura que todo lo que se establece en la ley de educación es implementado en la escuela y con eficiencia. Doctor, what about enrollment? Do you have the same number of students that before? Or?
We actually have more. So Lancaster, we're sitting about, because we have that, we've been talking about the early childhood education pieces that we have. Mm-hmm. Large population of students in that particular program who's doing absolutely great. Miss almost, I don't know if she's a doctor yet, but she's almost Dr. Fountain, has been really focusing on trying to build that program and make it as strong and solid as possible. And she's done great work, in building that place up and building that program up. So that's doing really, really well. So we've got a lot of kids there. And because of that, those are kids that are feeding into our schools, into the general population of our schools, into our kindergartens and our first and second grades. And so we're probably sitting close to mid 14,000s, depending. So enrollment's actually been pretty good. Our enrollment's probably is almost pre-pandemic.
Oh, very good. Le estaba yo preguntando el número de niños que asisten a la escuela. Dice que afortunadamente se ha mejorado mucho gracias a que se está poniendo mucho énfasis en el programa de Head Start preescolar, uh-huh, para que los niños sean, la doctora, la casi doctora que está ahí, ha hecho un trabajo excelente atrayendo muchos niños y este programa pues les da muchos beneficios y la gente ya empieza a entender. Y bueno, gracias a eso se ha incrementado el número de estudiantes que se inscriben en la escuela de Lancaster, en el Distrito Escolar de Lancaster. Aproximadamente andan en los 14,500 estudiantes. Dice, son niveles similares a los que teníamos antes de la pandemia. So that is really good. Tell me more.
The only issue that we're running into that is, again, it falls back to the attendance pieces, making sure the students are showing up to school. So, it still falls into that. And we got to make sure that that's something that we want families to make sure that they remember.
Well, let me translate that, okay, because also that is linked with the budget that the school receives.
Absolutely.
And then,
absolutely.
Fíjense la importancia de la asistencia. La asistencia es lo que hace. Las escuelas reciben su presupuesto en base al número diario de asistencia de los niños. Entonces, si los niños faltan, les toca mucho menos dinero. Y si les toca menos dinero, pues tienen menos habilidad para ayudarles con cosas que los ayudan a salir adelante. Entonces, cuando su niño falta, no solamente se afecta el niño, es su hijo propio, pero está afectando a todos los demás niños porque la escuela no recibe los fondos suficientes para poder tener programas excelentes.
But and I want to make sure it's evident. It's not really, I'm an educator. I'm a teacher. I was a teacher. I'm a teacher first, and I'm a teacher always. And it's never about, funding or money and those kinds of pieces. It's always about if the student's not there, they can't learn. If they can't learn, then they're not going to be able to do the next day's worth of work, or they're not going to be able to do the next the next month's worth of work. They fall behind. They feel inadequate. They start to act out, because the minute you feel like you can't, the first thing that you do is you start to fight back. And if you believe that, and the minute that happens, now you've got all these other confounding factors that start jumping into the situation that just slow a kid down from doing what they naturally could have done had they been in school at the beginning. So our goal is, let's not start the process off back here. Let's cut it off at the head, get the kid to school, get them learning, make sure that they're learning in there every single day, and then we can move forward.
El doctor Goines dice que no es acerca del dinero solamente. Dice, yo soy un primero maestro y siempre seré un maestro. Para mí, mi intención, y yo creo que para todos los maestros, es que los niños aprendan y no se queden atrás. Entonces, cuando el niño no va a la escuela todos los días, se va rezagando en su conocimiento y entonces no se siente cómodo en la escuela porque no ha aprendido todo lo que debería. Y eso, pues, obviamente le va a afectar en su educación en el futuro. Por eso es importante que vayan todos los días. Doctor, but also, when you have more money because children go every single day, you have more resources to buy better technology,
Absolutely.
to have a better school, nicer. I don't know.
Yeah. So we've done, and I think that, like, especially in our districts, the funding, we've really used money wisely. And I think in the fact that we've spent money in the right places, our technology, like our kids are pretty much all 1-to-1. Some of them are 2-to-1, where they have a computer at home, they have a computer at school. So I mean, we've got the resources are there. It's really a matter of the fact, and then on top of that, the academic programs, implementation of programs sometimes is lacking. But that's one of those things that we're kind of focusing on, kind of bringing back to making sure all those pieces that we have spent that money on are really doing really well. But we can't really tell whether those programs work unless we have kids there to be able to say that they were there, they took part in it, and because they took part in it, they know more, or they don't know what they should know.
Bueno, estamos hablando entonces cómo es importante que los niños vayan porque eso les va a permitir que tengan un avance académico. Dice, y aunque hemos administrado muy bien el presupuesto en el distrito de Lancaster porque tenemos computadoras y tabletas para todos los niños dentro y fuera de la escuela, no es el problema el equipo.
Ujú.
Lo que nos ha fallado un poco es la implementación de tantos programas porque no existen todavía los recursos, pero es importante que los niños estén ahí todos los días para que puedan hacer uso de lo que se está invirtiendo en el distrito para que sus hijos sean mejores estudiantes. Los recursos están ahí y es cuestión de los padres asegurarse de que todos los días vayan a la escuela y vayan a tiempo. And do you know, even as an adult, you feel that in disadvantage because you never had an education of being on time and being there every single day. Then when you are an employee, you have problems because you always arrive late,
Absolutely.
because you don't have promotions, because you are not as good there, because you are never in the time when the decisions are made. So you are doing the same with your children if you don't change and you don't try to break that cycle.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then you don't get to take part in some of the cool stuff we've got going on. So like this week and next week, I believe, we're in the middle of March. Early March is reading week for the reading month. So right now we're doing Read Across America at most of the schools. Like I leave here and I'm going straight to Sunnydale Elementary School, and I'm going to be reading in a third grade class. So it's like you don't get to have the opportunity to be involved and speak to and have the contacts that we have. We've got a huge reading event that's happening. I believe it's like on, is it like April, March 24th or something like that? But where we're getting ready to have at one of our schools this huge reading event where there's going to be, where we have the possibility of having some superstars, actual like celebrities coming out to Lancaster, California to come read to kids, which is one of those things that we're really trying to focus on, is building that early literacy and getting kids to have that early access towards reading, because the quicker a kid knows how to read, the better, the better and longer their learning cycles can go.
Están el Distrito Escolar de Lancaster, dice, y a nivel nacional se está en lo que se llama la Semana de la Lectura, donde nos importa mucho que se desarrolle el hábito de la lectura. De hecho, saliendo de aquí voy a ir a una de las escuelas a leer a un grupo de tercer año. Dice, y lo que queremos destacar es la importancia de la lectura y de que un niño que puede leer bien y que tiene el hábito de leer va a avanzar muchísimo más rápido y mejor en la escuela que un niño que no lee. Then do you know how can you make the habit, and how can you create that habit that not only you read because you have to go to school, but that you enjoy reading?
I mean, I said that it's like, it's one of those, it's like a muscle. You have to practice it on a constant, and sometimes it hurts to practice, but you got to do it anyway. One of those things that we do with our kids, like I can tell you with my own children, they read, my television is on literally maybe 30 minutes a day. Like they don't, and they all got to agree on what they want to watch. And I got 4 kids, and you can imagine how much they're consistently fighting over, I want to watch this or I want to watch that. My son wants to watch Indiana Jones. My daughters want to watch, or my youngest daughter wants to watch like My Little Pony or something like that, or some, Jessie or something like that. So the thing is that it's, you give them the opportunity, but if you teach them over and over and over again that you're going to take this time, you're going to be getting into a book that you love, that you like, and then at night before you go to bed, you read to your kids. Those are the kinds of things that build habits. I mean, even if you can't, and we do have parents that can't we have parents in Lancaster who can't read, and when that happens, even if you just show them the book and play a picture, just do picture books with them with your students, and then if you have issues with reading, come talk to us because we'll help you too, so that we can get you to a point because we know that you're a partner in making sure that your kid is going to be successful later on. It's if you we can't have we're not going to have successful students unless we have successful families.
Bueno, pues estamos hablando de la importancia del hábito de leer. Dice, yo a mis hijos les pido que lean, dice, pero obviamente pues también compite la televisión con ellos. Tengo 4 hijos, imagínense, para decidir qué programa se va a ver, se tiene que hacer toda una discusión, pero sí nos preocupamos de, por ejemplo, leerles en la noche y asegurarnos que los niños tomen la lectura de un libro que a ellos les guste. No tiene que ser algo que no les guste, sino algo que les atraiga para que se hagan el hábito de leer, porque ese hábito de leer ayuda muchísimo. Dice, yo sé que hay algunos padres que no saben leer, pero bueno, por lo menos pueden darle a sus hijos los libros para que ellos sí se puedan entrenar leyendo. What about there are too many books now that they are in audio that you can watch in YouTube.
Well, that's
listen.
Why not? I mean, it's like, so for instance, one of the books that I'm getting ready to go read to a 3rd grade class later on today is literally on YouTube. But I mean, and if that's the option you've got, because maybe you don't feel more comfortable reading, then fine, go for it. But you got to realize it's more powerful from a kid's perspective if the parent is reading to them, because it's the family time as well. It's that one-on-one, like, connection with the family, that connection with their mother or their father. That's valuable as well. So.
Bueno, estábamos hablando de los niños de las personas que no pueden leer, pues aunque sea, pueden inducirlos a través de un audio para que también la mamá vaya aprendiendo. Pero dice, yo creo que el hábito de leer es algo incalculable y que se les debe de inculcar a todos los niños y hacerlo de la mejor manera posible. Doctor, it's almost time to go. Did you miss something?
I've got stuff, but I'll be here later in March, I'm sure, so I can give some stuff up. So.
Perfecto.
Okay.
Queridos amigos, muchísimas gracias por haber estado con nosotros. Fue un placer. Y a ir a la escuela todos los días a tiempo, por favor.